If I had known that one overlooked video from 10 years ago would rip apart everything I spent years building, I would have erased it long before it shattered my marriage. The night my husband burst into our bedroom, fury burning in his eyes and his phone trembling in his grip as he asked, "Explain this. Who are these men?" That was the moment I felt my entire world tilt beneath me. I knew life was about to implode, but I wasn't prepared for what followed, because the truth behind that video was far uglier than anything he imagined, and the chain of revenge it set off would reshape all our futures. My name is Arya, and a decade ago, long before I ever crossed paths with my husband Ethan, my life looked nothing like the one I built today. I was young, rebellious, and desperate to get away from a family that controlled every hour of my existence. When I ran away at 19, I had no safety net, no money, and no one I could rely on. I ended up with a group of people who pretended to care. 3 men who promised me freedom, confidence, and independence, but their intentions were far from pure. One night they talked me into joining a fun challenge video, something goofy, harmless, wild. I was too sheltered and too trusting to realize it was a trap. They uploaded it online without my consent. I was mortified, but instead of fighting back, I vanished from that city and rebuilt myself. I swore I would bury that piece of my past forever. For years, I created a new life, educated myself, found stability, healed bit by bit, and eventually met Ethan. Gentle, honest, everything I once thought didn't exist. I told him I wasn't proud of my past, but I never gave specifics. I believed that chapter was closed, but the internet never forgets. One ordinary night, Ethan received a message from an unknown sender. Attached was that cursed video. He entered the room looking like something inside him had broken. His hand shook and his voice barely rose above a whisper as he said, "Arya, what is this? Did you cheat on me before we were even married?" His question cut through me sharper than anything. He genuinely thought I had been unfaithful back then, and in a way even now. I tried to explain, but he wasn't hearing me. He yelled, accused, paced, cried. The man who had always been calm and steady was falling apart right in front of me. But the worst part wasn't the accusations. It was knowing he chose to believe faceless strangers over the woman he married. For 3 agonizing days, he barely looked at me. He slept in the guest room. My world felt like it was sliding off the edge of a cliff. Then on the 4th day, everything shifted. I got a call from a number I didn't recognize, a voice I hadn't heard in 10 years. One of those 3 men. He laughed when I demanded to know why the video resurfaced. He said, "You seemed too happy. Thought your husband should know the real you." Something inside me cracked. I was no longer that terrified 19-year-old girl. I was done running. I hired a private investigator. I dug into their careers, their shady dealings, their hidden lives, and oh, they had plenty to hide. It turned out they'd filmed similar videos of multiple girls, using them to manipulate, humiliate, and even blackmail them. Some women's lives were ruined. Others disappeared from the internet altogether. I collected every piece of evidence, every statement, every message, every recording, and then I did what none of them expected. I told Ethan everything, not just about the video, but the coercion, the pressure, the way they trap girls for content. At first he was distant, but when he saw the police reports, the PI files, the victims' testimonies, the truth finally hit him. He hadn't married a cheater. He had married someone who survived, something she never asked for. The following week, police raided the apartment where the men ran their so-called content studio. They were arrested for harassment, revenge content, distribution, online exploitation, and several other crimes. Their empire of humiliation collapsed overnight. Ethan held my hand as we watched the news coverage. He whispered, "I'm sorry. I should have trusted you." And I knew he meant it. But trust isn't a button you push, it's rebuilt slowly, gently, one fragile brick at a time. We're working on it carefully, honestly, and maybe someday our marriage will be stronger than before. But here's what I learned: your past doesn't define you, yet sometimes facing it head on is the only way to take your power back.